What's going on, guys? It's DJ Skandalous here, and we're going to break down more of that Snoop Dogg interview with Fat Man Scoop. Let's get it.
I'm built for it, nigga.
Alright guys, so if you haven't been following me on my DJ Skandalous page, I recently posted a video that Snoop Dogg did a live interview with Fat Man Scoop on his Instagram, and he broke down some key facts of whether Tupac will be supportive of these riots going on, as well as Tupac's music being more relevant than ever, and he also broke down whether or not Tupac will be down with this mumble rap and how he would respond to these mumble rappers in the game right now. For this one, we're going to break down this interview clip here from Instagram Live, where Snoop Dogg basically states that DMX is the closest rapper that we have to Tupac. Here it is.
Who is the rapper to you in today's world that has the energy like Tupac? Is there any rapper that has Tupac energy?
The last person that had Tupac's energy when they was 100% was DMX. He had that nigga's energy fully. Like when he was DMX, the motherfucker, when he was on stage praying and crying, when he was that thing, the whole thing, that was Tupac, the rebirth. And I seen it with my own two eyes, like performing with DMX and watching how he took over the crowd and watching how he was so passionate about his music and his people and his movement. And that is the spirit that Tupac embodied.
Alright guys, so what are your thoughts on this? Do you feel like DMX is the closest that we have to Tupac in regard to stage presence as well as energy? Or do you feel like Snoop is out of pocket here and doesn't really know what the fuck he's talking about? For me, I'm kind of riding with Snoop here, even though a lot of people, a lot of Pac fans hate Snoop for whatever reason, because they feel like the drama that Snoop Dogg and Pac have back in '96 is the reason as to why they feel like Snoop is a leech or a money grubber or a clout chaser and stuff like that. However, I think they would have squashed their beef later on if Pac would have stayed alive. So for me as a Snoop and Pac fan, I want all their music to come out together. Just because they have some animosity doesn't mean we can't really enjoy their music that they record together and it just stay unreleased. That's some bullshit. So, I'm going to give Snoop the benefit of the doubt here, and I'm really going to listen to what he has to say. So in this, he says that DMX had his overall energy and stage presence, and I kind of agree with him. I think there was no other rapper in the game that came after him. You had the Realist, you had Casanova the Don on YouTube, and these rappers sound a lot like Tupac, but they miss that kind of passion in their voice, that energy, that stage presence where they can go from right to left on the stage and make their movements look amazing, and not have their movements look so awkward. You have so many rappers that get on stage and they stay in this little proximity and they don't really move because they don't have that charismatic ability like a wrestler. You know how a wrestler just gets on the mic and he can say whatever the hell he wants and he comes up with shit on the spot? Well, Tupac was like that. In his interviews, he could come up with anything on the spot and sound amazing, sound intelligent, as well as rapping on stage. He can make any movement and it becomes an iconic gesture, or you see it in memes, or you see it in GIFs or GIFs or whatever the fuck it's called. You see it, Tupac doing the Crip walk and everything else. And no matter what Tupac did on the stage, he did it with such class and such style. And that's something we can't take away from him. And a lot of rappers don't really have that style. Now, in terms of rapping, I think DMX was very close to, because he had that deep tone in his voice. He also had a lot of sound effects, that what and the dog sound. Tupac was doing that with his music too. He had his motto saying, "Oh yes." He had his motto saying, "Hail Mary." He had his motto saying Black Jesus in songs. Also in his early career, he also said booyah a lot, as well as he had a deep tone voice, which was basically another persona. It was called a soldier persona. So songs on like Ready for Whatever, you'll hear it in between the hook. It's a song, A Soldier Story, you'll hear a whole verse in a deep tone voice, similar to what DMX used for his Damien songs. So I feel like Tupac doing that with his soldier voice, as well as maybe Humpty Hump Shock G having his own two personalities on song to song and the same song as well. I feel like that kind of inspired DMX to do that Damien type of persona as well on his music. And Tupac's character of the soldier was actually based on a father-like figure, but it necessarily wasn't his own father. It could have been anyone's father. And you'll hear that on other songs such as Representin'. You'll hear it on even interludes such as Where Do We Go From Here and Something to Die For. Now, another person I would put in this argument that's closest to Tupac, but I don't think he has the same energy, will be Ja Rule. And Ja Rule, he stole a lot of Tupac lines in his music, such as Nigga's Nature. He stole a lot of lines in that song, even though it was unreleased, but it was available on the Machiavelli bootlegs, so he can go in and he stole it for a couple songs on his 3rd or 4th album, I believe it was. He also did the same thing where he would steal some of the samples that Tupac used, such as the sample for Jealous Got Me Strapped for one of his songs, as well as the same sample that Tupac used for the original Pac's Life song. And he basically made a song called Thug Life out of it. So Ja Rule is very well known for stealing Tupac's lines, his samples, even his song titles, as well as his overall iconic look, such as not having a shirt, wearing a bandana, and tying it up front instead of backwards. And also getting crosses tattooed on his back similar to Tupac, and this is something 50 Cent called him out on a Realest Killers remix that was on Resurrection. But like I said, I think DMX was the closest because he had that bravado, he had that swagger. A lot of Tupac's music definitely inspired DMX, because if you look at some of the songs that DMX recorded in 1995, it doesn't sound nothing like the songs that DMX was recording after Tupac was already dead. So I feel like DMX definitely upped his style and definitely took a little bit of pieces of Tupac's style and bravado and incorporated that into his own music. And basically, he probably did it just like Ja Rule did it, because they know that a dead man can't talk to him and diss him. Now, I love DMX, and I'm not really hating on him, because DMX, if he didn't get on drugs, I think he could be a top 3, top 4 rapper of all time, and I would put him up there with Tupac and Biggie. But as of right now, he has to be around 6 or 7 for me, because I have Tupac, Eminem, Biggie, Nas. Then it goes to him, Big Pun, or Big L. Also, I think another key thing here is that Tupac was such an amazing actor, and he was going to do many more movies if he stayed alive. So it's kind of amazing that other rappers kind of pursued this, and I think DMX had the overall acting chops to become a really significant actor, such as what he did with Jet Li and Romeo Must Die, as well as Cradle to the Grave. So I feel like Tupac probably inspired other rappers to find that outlet in Hollywood as well. And DMX could have definitely filled that hole there that was left when Tupac passed away in terms of Hollywood. Because we also see Ice Cube, we also seen Tyrese, we also seen Ludacris, we also seen Ja Rule. But I think if Tupac and Ice Cube didn't really take off when they did, doing movies as well as Will Smith, I don't think that would have opened the door for other rappers to actually pursue that. So I feel like Tupac definitely inspired DMX early on in his career. And if you look at the beats on DMX's first 3 albums, it sounds very dark and very similar the beats on the Machiavelli album. Anyways guys, drop your comments below about this. I'm going to break down more of this interview in the next coming days. Peace out.